can't allow that to happen because it's just cost shifting. It just keeps going down the line, and in the meantime, you have people suffering terribly. People dying is what happens.
Welcome back to Square Off. Former Republican Governor Jan Brewer delivered an alarming warning to her fellow Republicans. People will die if they cut Medicaid. Now, let me set the scene for you. Governor Brewer was at a luncheon where Arizona members of Congress briefed the business community on what's going on in D.C. Brewer's name came up when Republican Congressman Andy Biggs described looming cuts to the health insurance program for low-income Americans. Now, you'll recall that Brewer, despite intense opposition from her own party, expanded Medicaid in Arizona in 2013. So I asked for her reaction to what Biggs said.
It was a dire warning from the architect of Arizona's Medicaid expansion.
You can't kill people to balance your budget. You just can't do that.
Former Republican Governor Jan Brewer pushed through an expansion of the state Medicaid program 12 years ago that provided health care coverage to tens of thousands of uninsured adults and children.
We got to cut spending somewhere somehow in order to get our balanced budget back, but it's not going to happen with Medicaid.
Republicans in Congress have targeted Medicaid programs like Arizona's for hundreds of billions of dollars in cuts. They say to lower the ballooning federal budget deficit.
I'm afraid, quite frankly, that and I don't want to see it go this way, but it might get pushed in some respects down to the states.
Republican Congressman Andy Biggs of Gilbert, now running for governor, opposed the state's Medicaid expansion when he was a state lawmaker.
So you heard it here first from Congressman Biggs.
Arizona Senator Mark Kelly and other Democrats contend that Medicaid cuts would translate into tax cuts for wealthy Americans.
Make no mistake, if this happens, this will have an impact on everybody.
Arizona business leaders have also sounded the alarm. A new study for the Arizona Chamber of Commerce and Industry forecasts that for every $1 billion reduction in Medicaid spending, Arizona would lose 36,000 jobs, $138 million in state and local tax revenue, and $1.7 billion in wages.
President Trump, to his credit, has shown some resistance to wanting to see Medicaid cut as well. So we're hopeful that'll be off limits.
Now, Congressman Andy Biggs said the House of Representatives' work on the budget and the future of Medicaid could be decided by Memorial Day, just a month from now. Want to get you caught up on two stories from last weekend's Square Off. School Superintendent Tom Horn and I discussed Trump administration's attempts to eliminate what it claimed were illegal diversity, equity, and inclusion policies in schools. Late in the week, federal judges in 3 jurisdictions temporarily blocked the effort because it appears to be unconstitutional. And a 3-month advocacy campaign by families of developmentally disabled children and adults has paid off. Governor Katie Hobbs signed an emergency bill that fills a $122 million funding shortfall to pay for services for 60,000 developmentally disabled Arizonans. A tough day-long negotiating session produced a bipartisan bill that was passed with large majorities. Colleagues gave much of the credit to Democratic Rep. Nancy Gutierrez of Tucson and Republican Rep. Julie Willoughby of Chandler. When we come back, why would the state